Real control, it's an invisible force, not something you can actually reach out and touch. Yet, its impact is undeniable on your career, your relationships, your entire future. It's never just the balance in your bank, not your impressive title, not even your social media following. True influence is far more subtle and far more dangerous if you don't grasp it. Because if you want to genuinely steer your own life instead of just getting dragged along, then you need to understand how this game is truly played. And the only way to truly learn is to break it down, see it laid bare. So let's dissect the 10 levels of real financial and life influence. We're starting at level 1, the trap, where you have zero control. That feeling of being completely and utterly powerless, like you're just a leaf drifting through life with no direction. You're caught in a storm, soaking wet, no umbrella. Every turn feels like a dead end. You try everything, but you're just stuck. They talk over you. They make your decisions for you, and you just passively accept it. You never push back. No money in your pocket, zero confidence, absolutely no control over your own damn life. Sound familiar? You're a pawn in other people's games, a product of circumstance. Their decisions dictate your path, not yours. This way of living absolutely sucks. There's simply no other way to put it. You know that feeling, right? Like you have absolutely zero control over anything in your life. You mize. You're convinced you're just a helpless product of circumstance, constantly pushed around by everyone else's decisions. Just a background character in your own story, a complete NPC. And living like that, it's a miserable existence, a total waste. And frankly, it's pathetic anyone settles for this. Now, I'm not saying that out of sympathy, because if you're still stuck in that powerless mindset as an adult, that's a choice. Your choice. Your choice. Powerlessness has nothing to do with your bank account, where you were born, or what you've been through. It's the belief that nothing can ever change. That's it. That's the brutal truth. People stuck in this trap can't even imagine their life getting better. They just can't see it. This is their financial reality. They've just accepted it. No way out, they believe. That mindset, it isn't just a thought. It forges your reality, a self-fulfilling prophecy. Are you stuck, just drifting financially with no real plan in sight? Here's the truth. You're in this spot because you chose it. Plain and simple. But you can get out. It starts with one crucial mental shift. Carbius. This is the shift. The critical next stage, becoming aware. This isn't powerlessness. This is about you taking back control. You're still you. Same struggles. Same piles of bills. Then, suddenly, it all just clicks. That's when it hits you. Your decisions directly shape your financial future. Enough with the mystical manifest your destiny fluff. This is about brutal, practical choices. Your actions don't just disappear. Every choice you make shapes your future. Consequences are guaranteed. This is simple. Cause and effect. Once that sinks in, you stop feeling trapped. You're not stuck playing a role handed to you at birth. You get to rewrite your entire story. You choose who you become. That decision, it gives you more power than you even realize. Here's the thing. Your current reality probably doesn't match who you want to be yet. Rich, fit, or famous overnight. Not happening. Let's get real here. And for now, you might still be stuck with that job you hate, those awful people, and tasks you absolutely dread. You're still showing up to that job you hate, still dealing with people who drain you dry. That's your reality for now. But the truth is, you absolutely can decide your own financial future. Stumble? Just adjust and go again. Forget wishful thinking. You get something far better, a real sense of control. Call it hope, but it's a hope you've earned. Hope? That's not a strategy. You need to actually do something now. Real action starts here. Because up until now, this was all just a thought experiment. And here's the truth. That changes nothing. Level 3. This is where your hands-on action starts transforming your bank account, not just your mindset. You've spent countless hours in your head, dreaming, planning, strategizing. But let me be direct. All that mental effort changes absolutely nothing. True control, real power isn't found in your head. It's unleashed the moment you move from thought to action. Your choices, right now, don't just shape your future, they shape the entire world. The ultimate secret to actual progress? It's incredibly simple, yet it's the one thing everyone avoids. It's action, being truly, consistently active. And no, I'm not talking about some monumental, life-altering commitment. We're starting with the micro steps, the almost ridiculously simple things, like swapping your daily soda for water, actually cleaning your damn room, or having the guts to say no when you truly mean it. Your future isn't just happening to you. Every single choice you make has consequences, and if you want to control it, you need to understand that. So, what comes next? Action. Action means you start doing things, tiny, almost stupidly simple things at first, like finally drinking enough water, cleaning up your space, or saying no to something for once. Hey, if you're enjoying this, show some love by liking and subscribing. Let's keep going. Or they could be bigger. Learning a new skill, finally sending that email to someone important. Others might not even notice, and that's entirely the point. This isn't about immediate results or proving anything to anyone. It's about the effort, the input. Every single action, no matter how tiny, pushes that needle forward. It moves you closer to your goals. That is how you finally take real control of your life. Want to change something? You have to start. Taking action, any action, that's your non-negotiable baseline. Forget overthinking the next step for a second. Consistent effort, just showing up. That's the only way you build real momentum. That basic effort, it's how you absolutely transform your life. Get healthy, stack serious cash, build better relationships. All of that is on you. But if you want to create real impact, something bigger than just your own wins, then action isn't enough. You need to get good. This is where competence changes everything. Anyone can do something, but doing it well, doing it effectively, that's a different game entirely. Competence means you practiced, you've learned, you paid attention. It means your actions aren't just effort anymore. They deliver actual, undeniable results. That's impact. Forget wishing for a superpower. Competence is it. Anyone can go through the motions. But performing well with genuine impact, that's a whole different league. That's where you stand out. B. Competence isn't magic. It's the unrelenting grind. Practicing, learning, paying ruthless attention to every detail. That's how you get actual results. Not just busy work, but undeniable impact. The kind that moves the needle. And then the world starts to bend to your will. Your efforts aren't just ripples, they're tidal waves. People notice. At work, in your relationships, they start relying on you. They trust you implicitly. That trust doesn't just feel good. It unlocks massive opportunities because you've proven unequivocally you deliver. Make no mistake, competence is the absolute turning point. It's the one thing that changes everything. Forget what you can do alone. What happens when your impact skyrockets, far beyond just you? This is where true resourcefulness kicks in. Not just grinding away, but working smart. Here's the brutal truth. There's an invisible ceiling on what any single person can achieve. No matter how disciplined or skilled you are, you've only got two hands, one mind, now, and 24 hours in a day. That's your hard limit, but there's a way to absolutely shatter it. The key? Stop being the single source of all success. Start building leverage. Want real power to actually get ahead? It's not about just working harder, it's about being resourceful. There's an invisible ceiling we all eventually hit. No matter how smart, how driven, or how disciplined you are, you're still limited. Two hands, one brain, and only 24 hours in a day. That's your absolute limit. But what if I told you that limit is an illusion? What if you could absolutely shatter that ceiling? Percy. It starts when you stop acting like you're the only source of power, the only engine in your life. Instead, you start unlocking all the leverage available. Money, software, technology, other people, systems. Every single one of them can work for you. They become your force multipliers. That's where everything shifts. Sure, one person can build, lift, or solve a problem, but if you're truly smart, truly resourceful, you combine technology, systems, people, and money. You forge it into one massive extended movement. You get things done without doing all the heavy lifting yourself. And to be clear, this isn't about manipulation or some backhanded control. Not even close. Forget just working harder. That's a trap. Real game changers use leverage. They don't push harder, they influence outcomes with strategic force. Leverage isn't about doing more work. It's about amplifying your impact, making your every effort go further, much further. And the ultimate level of leverage, that's genuine influence. When people start factoring you into their own critical decisions, suddenly your opinions don't just matter. They move people. They pause when you warn them. They make real, tangible changes based on your advice. Your reputation isn't just following you now, it's working for you. It's in the room, even when you're not. And when you are there, they don't just listen. They hang on every word. They believe you see something they don't. That's true influence. Nothing simple about it, but incredibly powerful. Suddenly, your words carry a different kind of weight. When you speak, people don't just hear you, they actually listen, and they act on what you say. Your reputation walks into the room before you do. It's the silent force that opens doors and conjures opportunities, sometimes before you even know they exist. Once you're there, they're captivated. Every word you utter holds their attention because they know you're the one who truly sees the bigger picture. This isn't about coercion or manipulation. It's about an undeniable respect for your judgment, a foresight others simply can't ignore. Your judgment is valued, not just acknowledged. When you move, others don't just follow, they rally. Your decisions become the undeniable force that generates real momentum. Your choices don't just ripple, they send waves. They create effects that stretch far beyond your immediate circle, touching lives you've never even encountered. That's the undeniable mark of true influence. When this becomes your reality, the doors don't just open, they swing wide. Opportunities aren't elusive, they actively seek you out. The constant struggle? That's a relic of the past. The world doesn't just meet you halfway anymore, it practically rolls out the red carpet. But here's the catch, don't dare get complacent. This isn't the summit, it's merely the staging ground for true power, for unshakable authority. At this next stage, your power isn't about persuasive arguments or winning debates. It's not about how hard you fight to be heard. Bro, admiration is fine, but true influence? That comes when an entire institution stands behind your voice. How does society really work? It's not chaos, it's held together by unspoken rules. Traffic laws, company policies, government procedures, these aren't suggestions, they're the agreements that dictate how people act. But here's the undeniable fact. Within all those rules, someone always has the final say. You step into that role, and you become the one who ultimately decides your business, your team, a public office. Now, people start moving. Now! They move in the direction you choose, not because they like you, but because the rules demand it. Your decisions aren't opinions anymore. They're orders. Your power just got a serious upgrade. It's official. This kind of authority is immense. But understand this, even it has its limits. You land that promotion, snag that fancy title, and yes, it's official. But let's be clear, that kind of authority comes with some serious limits. Here's the truth. A fancy title isn't true power. Real power, that's about being truly decisive. Even with the authority, maybe you're a manager, a team lead, or even an executive. You're still working within someone else's playbook. Sure, the rules say you're in charge, but those are their rules you've inherited. Your influence only stretches as far as their established lines. It's authority, no doubt, but it's fundamentally capped. That's the hard truth. What true decisive power? It's when you move beyond just enforcing the rules. It's when you can rewrite them. The moment you actually change the system you operate within, you unlock a completely different kind of advantage. No longer are you just picking from options someone else designed. You create your own. You design the exact process that drives your goals forward. The future isn't something you just get. It's something you make. Are you building the one you truly want, or just settling for what's given? Effective leadership isn't a theory, it's a force. It's when things don't just get done, they get transformed. That's real influence. And let's be absolutely clear, this isn't about cheap manipulation. It's not about feeding some ego. This is about legitimate, undeniable impact. This is about driving the right changes, because sometimes the current path isn't just inefficient, it's a dead end. You need a new direction, and you're the one to point to it. True power isn't about waiting for things to happen, it's about seeing the roadblocks, and not just moving them, but demolishing them. You don't just play the game, you change the playing field, and suddenly those impossible problems don't just get solved, they vanish. This is the ultimate freedom, the power to redefine the entire game. To set the standards that force others to follow your lead. That's not just big, that's everything. Sure, that gets you ahead, but it only touches the surface. We're talking about the next level, the truly transformative, the seismic shift. Up until now, we've focused on influence over the rules, how to master the current system. Yes, the formal structures, the company policies, even the laws themselves. But dig deeper. Beneath all that, in every system, every organization operates on something far more fundamental. Forget the laws on paper. The real rules aren't visible. They dictate how we live, what we value, and what normal even means. Most of us just follow them, never asking why. But some people don't just play the game. They rewrite the entire rulebook. That's true power, reshaping the culture, the systems, absolutely everything. Think a tech giant changing how we communicate, a new financial model, or a political movement. This kind of influence reshapes everything. But here's the truth, it doesn't always make you personally rich. You invent the next big thing, and you expect to be set for life, right? Maybe. But what if your impact isn't about personal wealth? Forget money for a second. Real power? That's about reshaping culture, rewriting the fundamental rules of the game. How does that happen? Through new tech, fresh financial models, even radical political philosophies. These shift the entire landscape. But here's the inconvenient truth. This kind of influence rarely makes you personally rich. Invent an iPhone, your grandkids are set. Write a manifesto that shifts millions of minds, you might still be scrambling for rent. But make no mistake, this is still immense power. Ideas spread, old ways fade, the world fundamentally shifts. You could chase the quick win, building that tech empire for overnight millions. Or you could plant seeds for ideas that fundamentally change minds for decades. It might not rake in millions today, but your ideas, they can quietly reshape how people think, how they live for generations. Now that's real power. When old habits truly die, replaced by something entirely new, when the world shifts so completely, you barely remember the before. That's significant. But there's a level of impact even beyond that. The ultimate influence? It's when you're so deeply ingrained, so utterly essential, that you literally cannot be removed. You become untouchable. But let's be honest, no single person ever truly reaches that. That level of power belongs to organizations so deeply woven into our daily lives, trying to remove them would cause total chaos. Forget what you think. Power looks like. Real power, the kind that sits above everything, is when you are genuinely untouchable. But here's the brutal truth. No individual ever actually reaches that stage. Why? Because this power belongs to organizations, entities so deeply embedded that removing them would set society back decades. Take companies like Apple or Microsoft. Entire industries run on their tools. Governments rely on their infrastructure. Billions organize their entire lives around their products. If they vanish, the ripple effects would be catastrophic. Or the World Bank. If it disappeared, entire continents would plummet into instability. Their power stems from one truth: too many systems rely on them. Who truly holds the power? Not the names you expect. I'm talking global tech, mega banks. Governments adopt their tools. Billions worldwide structure their entire lives around their products. Take just one of them away. What happens? Entire economies collapse. Their power isn't about control, it's about being absolutely indispensable. They don't just break the rules. For them, the rules themselves bend, or they cease to apply altogether. That's not just power, that's the ultimate dominion. You see it, right? Their power isn't just about money, it's being too big to fail. Whole systems are built just to keep them alive. Rules? For them, they're just suggestions. They don't play by them, they are them. The entire game bends to their every single move. This isn't just power, it's total dominance. You're simply not in their weight class anymore. You've just seen the brutal truths about your money and what it really takes to seize control. This isn't some abstract idea. This is the direct path to finally getting ahead. This whole process takes forever, doesn't it? We need a faster way, and you know it. It feels impossible right now, doesn't it? You're not alone. Everyone struggles here. What if there was a simpler path to success, one you've overlooked? Tired of spinning your wheels and getting nowhere? There's a reason for that. This isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter, and you're missing the secret. The old methods are broken. It's time for an upgrade, and I'm going to show you how.